Hello everyone, I am Gauri Bote, Assistant Professor in First Year Department, VPKPIT Param. Today, this is my video of subject Engineering Mathematics 2. Topic of today's video is curve tracing, and this is the unit number 4 of subject Engineering Mathematics 2. Today in this video we see rules for tracing the Cartesian type of curve. So here in this curve tracing, in this video we discuss the methods for plotting the rough graph of curve if equation of curve is known. Normally we know the curve only for parabola or ellipse type. But if any equation is given in x and y, so we can draw the rough sketch of this given equation, and by using that rough sketch we can find out its length, area or volume of that curve. Also we observe the nature of curve, in which region it exists. So first we see some basic concepts required for curve tracing. So first is convex upward or same as concave downward. So a curve, if the portion of curve on the both sides of point P lies below the tangent, then curve is convex upward. So see the figure, and convex downward, if the portion of curve on both sides of the point lies below the tangent, then curve is convex downward. So here it is convex upward. Both sides of the portion lies above the tangent at point P. So curve is convex upward. If you observe second figure, so both sides of the curve lies below the tangent. So it is convex downward. Now next concept is multiple point. Now a point through which more than one branches of curve passes is called multiple point. So example of multiple point is double point. So if two branches of curve passes through it, then it is a double point. Similarly, if three branches of curve passes through it, then it is triple point. Now specific points of double point, it is node. So a double point is called node if distinct branches having distinct tangent, and cusp, a double point is called cusp if two distinct branches have common tangent. So let us see next point, point of inflection. So curve has inflection at a point P if it changes from concavity upward to concavity downward nature or vice versa. Then asymptote, it is a tangent to the curve at a point infinity, is called asymptote. Now asymptote is parallel to the curve at value x is infinity, but it does not intersect the curve. It is parallel to the curve. Now see these examples. This is the node. Here two branches of curve are there and it has two different tangents. So it is node. But this is a double point. It is a cusp. Here two branches of curve. This is one branch. It is another branch. It passes through point. It is a double point. But this branch having common tangent. So it is a cusp. Now next concept we see point of inflection. So where the curve concave downward to concave upward or vice versa, at that point we say that point of inflection. One more interesting thing about point of inflection is the curve at that point, tangent at that point, curve lies half part below the tangent, half part above the tangent. Okay. And next concept we see asymptote. So asymptote is the tangent line to the curve at infinity point. Okay. So here when curve extending to infinity, the curve tending like this, and this line is the tangent. So this line is asymptote to the curve. So just recall what we see. double point, node, cusp, then point of inflection, asymptote. So this is a node. Node means two different branches having different tangent. Cusp, different branches having unique or common tangent. Point of inflection, curve change, concavity upward and downward at this point. And asymptote is the tangent to the curve at infinity. Okay. Now there are three types of equations, and by using that we trace the curve. So first is Cartesian curve. We know in the Cartesian curve, equation of curve is given as a function of x comma y. So normally it is given f of xy is equal to c. Then it is the Cartesian form of equation. Next type is polar form. So the equation of curve is given in polar form is given as f of r comma theta is equal to c. And next is parametric form. The equation of curve in parametric form is given as some x is function of some t variable, y is function of some t variable. So equation is x of t is c1, y of t is c. So there are three types of equations is given either in Cartesian form, polar form or parametric form. Now in this lecture we see only rules for tracing Cartesian curve. So rules for tracing Cartesian type of curve. So there are 6 points main we discuss. So first one is symmetry. Then second is point of intersection with coordinate axis. Third one, origin and tangent at origin if exist and tangent at another points. Fourth one, asymptote. Fifth one, special point on the curve. And sixth one, region of existence or upset. Now we go one by one. Symmetry rule 1. So in rule 1 again we see symmetry about x-axis. So if you observe this curve is symmetric about x-axis. We know this is parabola, y square is equal to 4x. So how we decide this curve is symmetric about x-axis? So test or condition for symmetry about x-axis is replace y by minus y. If the equation of curve remains unchanged, then curve is symmetric about x-axis. So here I replace y by minus y square is again plus y square. Equation remains unchanged and therefore the given curve is symmetric about x-axis. So that is f of x comma minus y is same as f of x comma y. Again we know the example of cos x. Y square is equal to 4ax or x square plus y square is equal to 1. Now here note, if all the powers of y in the given equation are even, then curve is symmetric about x-axis. So curve is symmetric about x-axis if replacing y by minus y if the equation of curve remains unchanged. So this is the first rule of symmetry about x-axis. Then now we see symmetry about y-axis. Again see x square is equal to 4ay. It is the parabola symmetric about y-axis, and here also this curve is symmetric about y-axis. So condition for symmetry about y-axis is after replacing x by minus x, if the equation of curve remains unchanged, then curve is symmetric about y-axis. So f of minus x comma y is f of xy. So x square is equal to 4ay or 4y. This is also one example. Another is x square plus y square is y. So what we observe, if all powers of x in the given equations are even, then curve is symmetric about y-axis. Now symmetric about origin or opposite quadrant. So After replacing x by minus x and y by minus y, if equation of curve remains unchanged, we simultaneously replace x by minus x and y by minus y. Equation of curve remains unchanged, then curve is symmetric about origin or opposite quadrant. Now let us see the example. Xy is equal to c square. So if I replace x by minus x, y by minus y, minus minus become plus, and then equation of curve remains same. So this curve is symmetric about the opposite quadrant. It is same in first quadrant and third quadrant. So if all powers of x and y are even, then curve is symmetric about both x and y axis. This is the note. Okay. Now next symmetry about the line x is equal to y. So if I interchange x by y and y by x, if equation of curve remains unchanged, then curve is symmetric about the line y is equal to x. So when I interchange x and y, equation remains same, then curve is symmetric about line x is equal to y. So see here xy is equal to 1 or circle x square plus y square is equal to 1. So here this curve is also symmetric about the line y is equal to x. Next, symmetry about the line x is equal to minus y. So replace x by minus y and y by minus x. If equation of curve remains unchanged, then curve is symmetric about line y is equal to x. Again this curve xy is equal to 1 or the circle x square plus y square is equal to 1. These are the examples. Now let us see some examples of symmetry. The first example, y square is equal to 4ax. When I replace y by minus y, equation remains same. So this curve is symmetric about x-axis. But when I replace x by minus x, curve does not remain same. So this is not symmetric about y-axis. Also it is not symmetry about the origin or other. So only symmetry is here about x-axis. Another example, xy is equal to c square. Here when I replace x by y, y by x, equation of curve is same. But when I replace only x by minus x or only y by minus y, curve does not remain same. So this is not symmetric about x-axis as well as it is not symmetric about y-axis. But when I replace x by y, y by x, equation remains same. So it is symmetry about the line x is equal to 1. Also it is symmetric about opposite quadrant because when I replace x by minus x, y by minus y, curve remains same. Now third example, y is equal to x cube. Again when I replace y by minus y, x by minus x, it becomes minus y is minus times x cube. So again we get y is equal to x cube. So equation remains same. So it is symmetric about opposite quadrant. But it is not even power of x, even power of y. So it is not symmetric about x-axis as well as y-axis. Now see fourth example. When I replace x by minus x, it satisfies equation remains same. So it is symmetric about y-axis. When I replace y by minus y, equation remains same. It is symmetric about x-axis. Now again when I replace x by minus x, y by minus y simultaneously, equation remains same. So it is symmetry about opposite quadrant. But it is not symmetric about the line x is equal to y because here it is a square and b square. So this curve is symmetric about both x and y axis as well as opposite quadrant. Now next rule is point of intersection. So intersection with x-axis. So when we put y 0 in the given equation of curve, then we get corresponding value of x, and it gives the point of intersection. Suppose when I put y 0, I get x naught. So x naught comma 0, it is the point on the x-axis line. Similarly, when I put x is 0, so I get some value of y. So it gets intersection with y-axis. And if 0, 0 satisfy the equation of curve, then we assume curve passes through origin. So that is, equation does not contain any constant term, then curve passes through origin. Otherwise, curve does not pass through. So equation does not contain any constant term, then only curve passes through origin, then only 0, 0 satisfies. So here, this curve passes through origin. Also, when I put x is 0, I get y 0. So curve intersect y-axis at origin. When I put y 0, I get x 0. Curve intersect x-axis also at origin. Here is also, when I put y 0, I get x 0. So curve intersect x-axis at origin. When I put x 0, y becomes 0. So curve intersect y-axis also at origin. And 0, 0 satisfy this equation. It implies curve passes through origin. Here in third one, when I put x is 0, I get 0 is c square. So curve does not, I will not get any value of y. So curve does not intersect x-axis. Similarly, when I put x 0, then also I am not getting any value of y. It means curve does not intersect y-axis. Again, if I put 0, 0, it does not satisfy the equation. Curve does not passing through origin. Okay. Here also, when I put 0, 0, I get 0 is equal to 1, which is wrong. So curve does not pass through origin. 0, 0 does not satisfy this equation. But when I put y 0, so I get x square is a square. X become a and minus a. So a by comma 0 minus a comma 0. So curve intersect x-axis at 2 points. First is a comma 0. Second point is minus a comma 0. Another thing, when I put x is 0, I get y is plus minus b. So curve intersect y-axis at point 0 comma b, 0 comma minus b. So this curve intersect y-axis at 2 points and x-axis at 2 points, and it does not pass through. Now third rule we see tangent. So first, tangent at origin. So if curve passes through origin, then tangent at origin is obtained by equating lowest degree term of equation to 0. So first, we rewrite given equation term in ascending order of powers, and then we are finding lowest degree term, and we equate that lowest degree term to 0. So by equating whatever we get, equation, that is the equation of tangent at origin. For example, this y square is equal to 4ax. So if I observe, lowest degree term is 4ax, first order. Here it is second order. So lowest degree term is 4ax. We equate this to 0. So 4ax is 0 means x is 0. And x is equal to 0 means y-axis. So this y-axis is the tangent at point O. Tangent to the curve at origin is y-axis. So again, I recall it is important part. Tangent at origin is the, how we calculate. So by equating lowest degree term to 0 in the given equation, whatever we get equation, that is the equation of tangent. Sometimes we get more than one equation, so there are more than one tangent at origin. Next is tangent at any general point. So if dy by dx is equal to p, at point P is 0, then tangent at point is parallel to x-axis. If the derivative dy by dx at point P is infinity, then tangent at point P is parallel to y-axis. If dy by dx at point P is greater than 0, then tangent makes acute angle with x-axis. And if dy by dx at point P is less than 0, then tangent makes obtuse angle with positive x-axis. Now next point we see asymptote. So asymptotes are tangent to the curve at infinity. So asymptote parallel to x-axis. How we calculate? There is asymptote parallel to x-axis. So it is obtained by equating coefficient of highest degree of x to 0. Now we are not equating highest degree term. We equate here coefficient of highest degree term of x to 0. If there is some y is equal to a, then the line y is equal to a is asymptote parallel to x-axis. If highest degree of x is constant, then there is no asymptote parallel to x-axis. Now, similarly, we calculate asymptote parallel to y-axis. Asymptote parallel to y-axis is obtained by equating coefficient of highest degree of y to 0. But we equate coefficient of highest degree of y to 0. So if we get the term coefficient of highest degree of y is x is equal to a of this type of term, then asymptote parallel to y-axis. The line x is equal to a, it is the asymptote parallel to y-axis. But if coefficient of highest degree of y is constant term, and constant is 0 means no meaning, so there is no asymptote parallel to y-axis. So here we observe for this curve asymptote parallel to y-axis. These two examples. Now oblique asymptote. Asymptote which is not parallel to coordinate axis. So how we calculate? Step 1 is put y as an x plus c in the given equation. Then equate two successive coefficients of highest power of x and find the value of m and c. Then substitute here. We get required equation of line y is equal to mx plus c, and this line gives oblique asymptote. For example, here we get some line of this type, and then there is a curve. This is the tangent line to the infinity. Now next point, region of existence. So region of existence, how we calculate? If possible, we write equation is y square is f of x, and then the value of x for which y square is negative. We know y square of any number never negative. For some value of x, then in that region curve does not exist. And for the region in which y square is positive, in that region curve exists. Similarly, we can find out, if possible, try to write down x square is equal to function of y, and then find the value of y for which x square is negative. So in that region curve does not exist for value of y. Okay. So here, when x is negative, y square become negative. So it is not possible. So therefore curve does not exist for x less than 0. So curve exists only in the region x greater than 0. Also, if we observe this, here in this region curve does not exist, curve does not exist, curve exists in this region and in this region. Here also curve exists only between 0 to 3. So in this way, according to equations, we are finding the region of existence. So what we see? The symmetry of the curve, then intersection points, then tangent at origin and another point, then asymptote, and special points only we plot, and region of absence or presence. So these are the key points for tracing the any type of curve. Okay. So now we stop here. Thank you. Now in next video we see detailed examples.